The Broncos are still on the hunt for their next GM, and the Buffs are now in the market for a defensive coordinator. I'm breaking it all down in the DNVR Sports Report. The Denver Broncos announced today that they would be conducting second-round interviews with both George Paton, Vikings assistant GM and VP of player personnel, and Terry Fontenot, Saints assistant GM and VP of pro personnel. Fontenot had a virtual interview this morning, and Paton is currently in Denver for an in-person interview with the Broncos. He will be the first candidate to be interviewed in person. For the latest information on the Broncos general manager search, head over to DNVR.com. News broke today that Colorado Buffaloes head coach Karl Dorrell has fired defensive coordinator Tyson Summers. This move came as somewhat of a surprise. This year, Colorado allowed the 5th fewest yards and points per game in the Pac-12. The Buffs' pass defense was their calling card, leading the conference in opponent completion percentage and passer rating, all while finishing 3rd in sacks. So far, only one name has popped up as a possible replacement for Summers. According to Fox Sports' Bruce Feldman, Colorado's defensive line coach Chris Wilson has emerged as a strong internal candidate. Speaking of the Buffs, the men's basketball team was in action yesterday, defeating the Utah Utes 65-58. The Buffaloes had a rough start in the first half but came out blazing in the second. They opened the second half with a 15-0 run and never gave up the lead again. McKinley Wright tied Jay Humphreys for the school's assist record, while Deshaun Schwartz and Jabari Walker each finished the game with a double-double. The Buffs will be back home for their game against Cal on Thursday. For more in-depth coverage on all of these teams, make sure to check out thednvr.com and don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram.